which people in the street. In other words, how late can you light it? In other words, as so long as there's people in the street, you can light it. The Gemara says, Ad de kalya rigla de tamridoim, until this certain ethnic group called the Tamridoim, who used to sell wood, they were the last people in the marketplace. That's the time until which you could light the menorah. So Rashi says, who is these Tamridoim? Shem Ummah, Malak de Eitzim. So the implication is that it's not only, the Pirsumei Nisa is not only relevant for our community, but it's relevant for the community at large. And the question is why? What's unique about Chanukah specifically? You don't read the Megillah in public necessarily. Well, it's also Pirsumei Nisa. So what's unique about Chanukah that we have to publicize the miracle not only within our community but for the community at large? Right. So I heard Rabbi Soloveitchik gives an answer that basically we're letting people know that when it comes to other holidays like Purim, we're threatened physically with annihilation. So God saved us, so that's to a certain degree an internal matter for our personal community. Chanukah, we weren't so much threatened physically. There was a certain amount of physical oppression, but we were threatened spiritually. And when we're threatened spiritually, we fought back, obviously, with great self-sacrifice. We want to let the community at large know that when our values, when the Jewish community's values are threatened in any form, we're willing to step up for it and to fight for it, and to show how important our values are. We want to make that message known to the world at large, how important our values are. But in addition to that, I was thinking perhaps the idea of the Chanukah menorah. Chanukah is the last holiday, basically, historically speaking, that we have, and it's right before, essentially, several, about 100, 200 years before the onset of this long exile which we currently find ourselves in. So the idea of the Chanukah menorah is it's a candle to light up the long darkness of the exile. So it essentially symbolizes the idea of hope. In other words, that the idea that the world is not redeemed, that things are not perfect in the world. There's darkness in the world, right? We are still in exile. We have not yet arrived at the Messianic era. Even so, there's still a light that flickers, a light of hope, letting the world, letting us know, but letting the world at large know that the world is not yet as it should be. There is darkness in the world. We acknowledge that. We state that fact. But we're also at the same time letting us know and letting the world know that there's still a light that flickers. This light is the light which will be given to us at the time of the redemption. But right now it's a small light, but it's still there even in the darkness. So we're essentially letting ourselves know and the world at large know that despite the current darkness, there is a light of hope which will eventually burst into a large flame. So that's important to keep in mind. Obviously, historically, we're in a dark period right now, but the light is there. It's a small light, but a little bit of light can push away a lot of darkness. And the light we keep it from generation to generation. And God willing, the near future will burst into a bright flame for all to see. The world will no longer experience the darkness it currently experiences, and we'll have a better future for our community and for the community at large.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, where's you got? Yes. Sure.
Chanukah Sameach. My daughter Menorah, can I see the bracelets? She's partnering with an organization in Israel. Is a community called Elazar in the Gush, and they're raising money, $500,000 for very high-tech thermal red cameras around the whole place. Arabs keep cutting into the fences and sneaking in at night. It's dangerous for them. So it's 100% goes to the organization. It's $3 or $5 for these bands. They've raised, I don't know, $10,000 so far the last few weeks. All the kids all over are trying to get involved. So if you'd like to buy a bracelet to wear, I think it says "Stand with Israel," things like that. Menorah selling them, and it goes straight to the community Al-Azhar. Thank you.
Okay, and also another announcement before tomorrow we're going to have a 2 o'clock mincha minyan. So there are many who have the minig that they daven mincha before they light the Chanukah menorah. So we're going to have a 2 o'clock aside from the regular Chanukah menorah. And Matzoi Shabbos, we're going to meet, I don't remember what time it is, but in front of Country Boy. 6:30? Okay, so everybody's welcome to join us. You have those things? Baruch atah Elokeinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivonu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Elokeinu melech haolam
Nisim Avotenu Hayamim Ahem B'Azman Hazem.
All those practice fires.
Aneros Alon Anachnu Madlikim Al Anisim V'Al Anifamos V'Al Anishuas V'Al Anifamos Elos Yisrael Avoseinu Yomim Mahem B'Zman Hazeh Al Yidei Kohanecha HaKadoshim Chol Shemonah Yimei Chanukah Aneros Alon Hashem Eros Alon Eros Hashem Yein Lanu Rishus V'Hishkamesh B'Hem Elo Liros B'Yilvad Elo Liros B'Yilvad Hallel L'Shimcha So Yeshua Chadaya Ezaveya Tikro Vestefilasi Veshantaya Ezaveya Lies Kachebaveya Mitzoram Aveya Azegmar B'Shem Mizmor Chanukah Samizbeya Azegmar B'Shem Mizmor Chanukah Samizbeya Yevonim Nigvesu Alai Azai B'Nei Ashmanim Uvartzu Chamois Migdolai B'Timul Kol Ashmanim Omin Azarkan Kanim Nasan Neis Lashoshanim B'nei Bina Yemei Shmana Kavu Shira Rina